JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 2nd of September 2022. So yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Friday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So yep, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation. It should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our jfdbrokers.com website, which you can check out for more information about us, and I believe you can find it useful. So now then, guys, jumping into the charts, the first one I'm going to pick up here is Nikkei 225. So yep, everything's working according to the plan. So what I said before that, in the beginning of the week, I said that, look, if we stay below this highlighted territory, my next target is the area near the 100 and the 200-day EMAs here, shown as the green and black lines respectively. Also, I will be aiming for this area near the 27,524 area for level, and then yeah, I'm going to take it from there. So I will actually have to say that, yeah, looking at this, I would say mission accomplished by probably 95%. So we just kind of fell shy by a few pips here from reaching it, but to be honest, that's fine, that's okay. I mean, this is how it happens, how it goes. So we just have to, adjust ourselves accordingly. Of course, don't get me wrong, it might still drift lower, but at this point, probably, if you entered the trade, for example, somewhere around here, then this is the point where I'll be taking my profits, because basically here, even if it drives a little bit lower, okay, that's fine. This is one of those moments where you cannot kind of really predict, but here we've predicted it correctly, and now the question is, can we see the second part of the prediction? Basically, the second part of the prediction is to see a rebound here back to the upside. Now, let's not rush into anything. Today we saw a bit of a decline here. However, it was actually remained flat for the day. But like I said, going into next week, we'll see how it goes. Also, depending on how this is going to trade today, because today we have quite an interesting day in the US market. So the NFPs are coming out, so keep those in mind. And of course, yesterday we had a bit of a reversal, a late reversal in the US market. So yeah, Dow and S&P managed to jump into positive territory. Nasdaq remains still in negative zone. However, again, like I said, let's see how today is going to play out, because maybe we could see a push a little bit to the upside. If that's the case, maybe Nikkei could follow suit, and we could see this one popping higher. However, it's just a theory for now. Again, don't get me wrong, there is still room to maybe test this upside support line as well. So, don't be surprised, for example, if we do see something like, a strong drift here to the downside, a drop below this whole area, this highlighted territory, test the upside line, and then rebound and kind of come back above this highlighted territory again. So, it would be called a false breakout. So we have these occasionally, so yeah, kind of keep that in mind. But in general, yeah, like I said, kind of discarding all this idea, I mean, I'm still kind of considering maybe to see a little bit of a rebound here. However, if it starts breaking this upside line, that's where I'm going to get even more bearish, and yeah, this could open the door towards lower levels. But then the next target that I'm going to be aiming for will be somewhere around here, near the 27,062 territory. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index, so also drifted to the downside. This one's performing a little bit worse. However, it continues to slide alongside this downside line. So I've talked about this, I don't know, several times already, because I said, look, I mean, when we break a certain, let's say, trend line, either it's an upside or a downside one, sometimes the instrument might stall somewhere, find resistance or support, then reverse, drift back closer to the trend line and kind of slide along it or climb alongside it, and then kind of, you know, rebound and kind of push or reverse from it and kind of go back into the direction of the break. So that's what at the moment we are or could be seeing, because again, I don't want to say that it's guaranteed or something, no, but let's say like this, there is still room for some downside, but if it starts dropping heavily below this 19,179 and then stays below it, that's where I'm gonna abandon the upside scenario. For me at the moment, there is still hope that this could reverse back to the upside, but I would really prefer to wait for a push above this barrier, above this 20,216 zone. ASX 200, so beautiful decline, didn't even really retrace back up here, as you can see, and just continued to slide further south. So okay, so I have to admit that in a way, overall, I was correct, but in the short run, I wasn't really correct. So have to admit that. So I was kind of hoping to maybe see a bit of a rebound here, but hey, one of those moments where you have to adjust yourself correctly. But as you can see, we already started falling below that the low of the previous day, and yep. Looking at this picture, I mean, it will end up being somewhere around here, maybe going into next week. We could maybe test this upside line here, and then maybe we can rebound. So let's put it this way. We'll put this arrow like this, and then we will go from there. The German index, DAX, beautiful decline. Everything worked out perfectly. So I said to you yesterday that, look, we were already below this 12,828 territory. So yeah, everything was kind of leaning towards the downside. And so far, I would say, yes, it is leaning a little bit more towards the downside. Currently, we're trading at around 12,720 zone. So basically, somewhere around here, we're kind of back to the highs of yesterday, near the highs of yesterday. But I will still stick to the same game plan. As long as we stay below this 12,828 territory, I will continue aiming for this highlighted zone right there, which is roughly around that 12,400 level. So again, plus minus here and there, but roughly towards that area. That's going to be my next target. But again, if you're a little bit on the careful side and the cautious side, what you can do here is you can keep an eye on yesterday's low near the 12,600 territory, approximately around here. A nice good drop below it would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and we could go further south. Nasdaq 100, beautiful recovery here from this area, from that psychological 12,000 mark, guys. So we came close to it. Of course, we didn't reach the 12,000 level exactly, but we got a nice reversal here, a push back to the upside. I would say half of the mission was accomplished. But yeah, my target was somewhere around here, maybe this 12,000 or this 11,820 zone. I talked about this yesterday, so I mentioned, and from the beginning of this week I said that, look, if we break this upside line, then my next target is the 12,000 and then maybe this 11,820, which we managed to, and that's what I'm saying, we managed to kind of complete half of the mission. But the thing is here is that we have rebounded, and we've tested kind of this upside line. So again, this is one of those, again, where I was talking about the trend on, like with Hang Seng Index here, that after we do a break, we sometimes come back to the trend line. And looking at the cash index right now, we'll see that, yeah, the index is actually sitting somewhere below this upside line. So in a way, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to continue observing this one. to be honest, given today's day with the events and everything, so I will be a little bit on the careful side, because we might see this jumping around here. Maybe it could come back above this upside line. Some buyers could start, thinking, oh great, it's coming back above the upside line, we can jump in here, maybe at least towards this downside line. Yes, but as long as it stays above it, because if it just kind of, but don't forget that, again, due to the day today, it might be a little bit choppy here, so you might get, stopped out, even though you think that you were right, and then at the end of the day, you might be right. But if it, because it could be choppy, so be careful. Either have a very wide stop loss, which you can afford, let's say, to be triggered, or just wait for it to settle down and then do something about it. Because again, if you think that you're going to miss out on an opportunity, no, there's always opportunity, every minute, every hour, every day. So keep that in mind. Like I said, you might not maybe take the big profits or something, but always remember, any profit is a good result. In general, if it's 0.01%, congratulations, you're doing good. Just kind of, always think about that. Never try to go like for, in a day, let's say, for the full 100% or whatever. So, but anyway, that's okay. But that depends. Everybody has a different style. So I just want you to be kind of safe and careful. Now, with coming back to this, I would say this way. In order for me right now to go lower, I will prefer to wait for that drop below that 12,000 mark. Now, again, I do understand that we could be missing out on a bit of territory, but if for the more risky ones, I would say if you're really looking for something, for like a sell here or something, keep an eye on this upside line. If we continue to struggle to overcome it, then you can try to maybe go for a short here. The only thing is that once it starts breaking back above this upside line, this is where your exit should be, because again, don't forget that you're entering a risky position already, and it could still reverse back to the upside. And judging by this little kind of candle which we formed yesterday, it might look like a little reversal candle. However, nothing is guaranteed, so because we are below this upside line still, so take everything with a pinch of salt. So at the moment, I would say if you are confused what to do, I would say observe, because again, due to the day today, the news are coming out, so yeah, that's going to be quite interesting to see. Again, looking at the numbers here, I would say the unemployment numbers in the U.S. right now are 3.5%. Jerome Powell is really, let's say, pressing businesses to kind of do some layoffs, because again, they're trying to maintain inflation. I mean, again, this is not really the most humane way of doing it, but hey, nobody cares in there. So just like every it's called for the common common good. However, yeah, we know that sometimes it doesn't really happen that way. Anyway, so coming back to the markets here. So like I said, from the technical perspective, look at this upside line. If we somehow manage to climb and stay above it, then yeah, great, we could go back to this downside line. But if it drops below that 12,000 mark, well, this is where I'm gonna start considering the downside. This whole area here, for me, it's a little bit on the neutral side, so I'm just gonna observe this one. Dow Jones Industrial Average, beautiful rebound. Look at this, just technically picture perfect. I mean, I talked about this, and boom, there we go. We got that nice little rebound. Everything's fantastic here, I would say, for now. The cash index is sitting at around 31,580 zone, something like that. So basically slightly below yesterday's close, but above this this little hurdle, this 31,534. In general, this idea is still working out. So again, at this point in time, I'm just going to observe this one. I want to see what's going to happen further. If we do pop above the yesterday's high, for example, then yeah, which is around the 31,677, then yeah, I'll go a little bit higher here, I'll go towards this downside line, and then so on and so on. But again, I have to kind of, you know, point it out that we are at this stage where it's really difficult to, you know, to do any prognosis, because again, this is yeah, it's a day. I mean, it could be very choppy, so be careful on that one. If it breaks the upside line, okay, I'll go lower. I will go lower, and I will go towards my next potential target, which is, let me just grab a line here. So basically, if it breaks this area, the 31,220, then yeah, I'll go further south here. My next target will be this 31,000, and then basically lower. DXY, the dollar index, beautiful pop. There we go, popped above this hurdle and stayed above it. So now, in the normal world, I would say, okay, great, you know, wonderful. Now we will continue aiming higher. We, by the way, reached my other target, the 109.77, and we breached it, but then we came back below it. So yeah, it's looking quite interesting. I think I need to, yeah. So there we go. That's the highest point of September of 2002. If we do clear this level again and we go higher, then I'm gonna target. Let me recycle this line. Always recycle, guys. There's a hidden message for you there. The 111.31. That's the inside swing low of the lowest point of actually September of 2001, guys. So that could be a nice good target. Of course, before that, excuse me. Before that, we could go and aim for that psychological 110 area. Oh, apologies for going silent there. Had to have a glass of water. Anyway, like I said, the 110 area could be a nice target because it's a very psychological number and everything, and the market does love psychological numbers. But again, due to the day, don't be surprised, for example, if we somehow drift back down. If we drift back down and stay below this 109.29, now what you will say is like, then, oh, but then it's going to be like, you know, it's not going to be a very nice looking chart. On the daily, yes. On the weekly, no. So on the weekly, for example, we would get a nice false breakout here, and that would mean that maybe DXY is ready to reverse a little bit to the downside and go, you know, wipe off some of these gains going into next week. So keep that in mind. At the moment, like I said, it's just a theory, but we have to examine everything in order to get comfortable, you know, in taking a position. So at the moment, I would say this way: as long as we stay above the 109.29 level, I'll continue aiming to the upside, especially if it pushes above that 109.77. If it falls and stays below that 109.29, then, well, like I said, then we'll get ourselves a nice false breakout, and maybe, like I said, next week, going into next week, we could see a bit of a retracement here to the downside. Gold. Gold drifted further south, so yeah, tested the psychological 1700 level, overshot it, and moved further south. And this is where I need to adjust this a little bit, because again, let's mark the low of yesterday near the 1689 level, approximately around there. Currently, we're seeing a bit of a rebound, which is fine. Again, I want to see how it's going to play out. Gold is one of those, again, who might be affected during the number release, just because of the DXY. Because if DXY starts jumping around, then yeah, you can expect gold here moving, you know, having a bit of a choppy session as well. So in general, I am still targeting this lowest point of July near the 1681 zone. Now that could be quite attractive target. So if you're looking maybe for the same level, I would say keep something like this in mind. So we might see, like I said, a huge jump here to the upside, maybe a test of that 1711 zone, buyers could start getting attracted here, and then let's say it could the sellers could start coming in here, and we could dip here all the way to the downside. Now the reason why I'm saying that this such a big move could happen just because of the day. That's it, nothing else. I mean it could be a catalyst. The job numbers could be a catalyst for these moves. So keep that in mind. I mean and yeah, let's see how this is going to play out. At the moment I'm looking at it this way. If you're not really comfortable with this, let's say, scenario, then keep your eyes on yesterday's low near the 16.89, and as you drop below it may lead to some lower levels. WTI oil, so came very close to that 85.74. Great. I would say now the question is, can we go lower? We're currently rebounding. We're currently jumping higher, so okay, so that's fine, but can we actually drop below this hurdle? And let me just highlight that for future reference, because I think I'd have too many lines on my chart right now. I'll have to tidy it up a little bit, but let's keep it this way here, and yeah. Now looking at this picture here, I would say if you're looking for some lower levels, obviously to wait for a drop below this 85.74 territory is required, because a nice good drop below it would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and we could then start aiming for this level, the 81.94, or even below that. So at the moment I think I will remove this area, although I really like it. Actually no, I'm gonna keep it because I really like that level. Yes, it was violated, don't get me wrong, but I want to see if let's say if we do retrace, can this level provide resistance again? So can something like this happen here? Let me just put this on the chart. There we go. Can something like this happen? Because again, also we have the 21-day EMA approaching this area, so all this could play out nicely here. So I'm going to keep this level for now. What I'm going to mark here, and if we do drop below that 85.74 territory, then yeah, I'll go for these levels. Now I have to jump in quickly because I think I've spent way too much time on these instruments. I still have to go through these pairs. Anyway, Litecoin, yesterday I talked about this. I said, look, wait for a breakout, because again, I said that although this could be seen as a descending triangle, things happen the opposite sometimes, and this is what I said. So and this is what happened yesterday. We got to pop through this downside line, and now we're pushing a little bit to the upside. I would say I'm leaning a little bit more towards the upside on this one, as long as it stays above this downside line and that 21-day EMA. And I'm going to target initially only the 63.30 level, and after that I'll take it from there. So this is a very good, strong area of resistance. Let's see if we can if we can hit that. In order for me to go lower, 52.61 territory, that's what's needed in order to go lower. AUD/USD very quickly on this one. So beautiful decline yesterday. Look at this. Everything's working out according to the plan, because the plan has said that in the beginning. I said that, look, this could be seen as a potential head and shoulders pattern. We need to see a break of the neckline in order to go lower. Well, we got that. Now, I will say we'll continue drifting to the downside. I'll remain bearish, but again, given the day, maybe we could see a bit of a spike here. And if it still remains below the neckline, I'm still going to go further south. My next target, my main target actually, is the 0.6680 zone right here. AUD/JPY very quickly on this one, also waiting, playing the waiting game here. You can see that we continue to kind of slide alongside this downside line, but we also use it as a little trampoline here. So if you're looking for some higher levels, guys, still my main aim is from here to go higher from the 95.75 area. For the downside, I would like to see a drop somewhere below this hurdle there, below the 94.62. USD/JPY, also something that I'm watching here. Okay. I would say at the moment, if we ignore any news coming out, I would say I'm bullish because it broke this key resistance barrier, and I would say as long as it stays above it, I will aim to the upside. Now, if you're looking for some levels here, for this I want to jump into a monthly chart. If you're looking for some levels, well, you have to go all the way back here to the 1998, guys. So this is where we are at right now, guys. It took us only about 20 years No, sorry, 20 years. Yeah, 24 years, something like, yes, 24 years only to get to kind of this point here. We're getting in, it's very, very interesting. Don't get me wrong. It eventually will fall. Just if the market starts selling off, guys, yen buying will resume. So this could be a nice opportunity to go short later on. However, not at the moment, and the moment I would say keep your eyes on this. This is quite interesting, and keep your eyes on the monthly chart especially, because look, we have traveled to the levels of 1998, but we still have not received our reversal signal yet, guys, so keep that in mind. Now, jumping into USD CHF very quickly. So this one continues to rally. Okay, beautiful move to the upside, guys. So everything's working out nicely for the bulls. Again, I am targeting, ideally I would like to see a test of this area, the 0.9886, and then maybe see a hold up here and then drift lower. But hey, the market never does it what I want it to do, so, or at least, well, I sometimes guess it. Hey, let's see how this is going to play out here, because at the moment, like I said, I am still leaning towards the upside as long as it stays above this upside line taken from the low of the 11th of August. This is a very tentative line, but again, let's keep an eye on this hurdle. That's my aim right now. I'm not aiming for higher levels, although they are attractive here, but I need the confirmation break first through this area. So that's why initially I need to get to that point. So let's put it this way. We might see a bit of choppiness here today, maybe, you know, but in general I am aiming for this 0.9886 territory, and then I'll take it from there. GBP USD, so and continues to slide, and to be honest, hey, everything's looking quite interesting here. I'm targeting that 1.1414 level, so let's see if we can reach that. But in general, it continues to slide perfectly. So perfectly with according to the analysis here that I've mentioned, when I said that, look, I said that if we drop below this 1.1760, my ideal scenario is the move towards that 1.1414 level. Well, we're currently, I would say, 60% away from, well, like 60% we have completed already. So let's see if we can, you know, do that other 40 or less, you know, percent. Let's see how that's going to play out. GBP CHF. So I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but if you think that you've missed an opportunity on a GBP pair or some sort, well, think again. You might not. Might not, because look, I mean, we are near this key area of support, near the 1.12 or 1.13 zone. So yeah, keeping an eye on that. So 1.13 or 1.1285, something like that. That's the lowest point of August. If we drop below this, great. This could, you know, this could confirm that ascending triangle idea pattern. So something like this maybe, yeah. So let's see if that's gonna play out or not. But again, looking at this picture, yeah, I'm leaning more towards the downside, but a confirmation break is needed. If I get a break through this downside line, then I'll aim for that 21-day EMA. But then, if for me to get still for me to get comfortable, at least in the near term, I would like to see a push above this area of resistance between the 1.1410 and 1.1421 levels. So yeah, keep that in mind. Euro CHF, very quickly on that one before I run out of time, and actually I already ran out of time, but so far so good, because look, yesterday I said that we had already a good run. Maybe, you know, it's time for a bit of a retracement. We're getting that little retracement. This level is no longer needed. It's no longer valid. Now I'm going to keep an eye on this area, which is quite a good area of resistance, 0.9834 level, 35, something like that, approximately around here. If you want to go higher, you need to say a break of that level. This would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and then my next target is the 0.9955, near that 100-day EMA. So at the moment, we're seeing a nice little retracement. Everything's fine. So yeah, let's see if we can hit this 21-day EMA, if we can go for a little bit of a larger correction to the downside. If we start dropping and stay below the 0.97 territory again, this way, then I'll aim back for the lowest point of August, near the 0.9550 53 level. And finally, EURUSD. So look at this beautiful move, guys. This is this is what I was saying yesterday. Look. I was saying that if we continue to trade above this 1.0032 territory, then yeah, we'll go higher. We'll go a little bit more towards the upside, but we'll have to be very careful with that 21-day EMA, which provided resistance. Okay, and we got a sell-off here. We drifted back down, and look, and what I also said to you that yesterday, that we were forming these like you know, little body candles, and don't forget that if we might see that the big one could follow. Currently, we're getting a little hold up near the 0.9952 level. I talked about this, or yeah, around that area. But now I would say if you are looking for some lower levels, again, wait for today's news. For today's data to come out, and then in general I'm leaning towards the downside if you go purely from the technical perspective. But again, like, today's the day. I mean, so yeah, let's see how that's going to play out, and let's be on a little bit on the careful side. But in general, I am leaning a little bit more towards the downside. Let's see if it starts popping somewhere above that 21-day EMA, only then I'll start going, you know, a little bit higher. At this whole area here, I'm just observing this. This is for me not perfect, so excuse me, and this isn't for me not perfect, so you know, I will keep that like that. I'm not gonna do anything in this little area right there. I'll wait only for a push above that 21-day EMA, and then I'll go a little bit higher. But like I said, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the downside. Let's see if that's going to work out or not. But anyway, guys, thank you very much. I'll have to wrap it up here. Apologies for that. Just apologies for kind of rushing it at the end here. But thank you very much for joining in, watching till the end. I really appreciate your views, your likes, your comments, everything, guys. I really do. So thank you for that. And if you want to catch me Monday, on Monday morning, 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a wonderful trading day. Stay safe, have your stop losses in place, and everything will be fine. Have a nice weekend, guys, and well, first of all, have a nice trading day today, and then have a nice weekend. Don't over trade. It's Friday. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.